First off, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, this would not be possible. Low Nose Boxing. Hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe. I got some breaking news. Teofimo Lopez is currently in talks with a possible showdown at 147 pounds against Brian Norman Jr. Teofimo Lopez, make no mistake about it, has never been the type of fighter to shy away from the biggest challenges, despite the fact that he's been hated on so many times, so many different narratives. He's avoiding this one, he's avoiding that one. I remember they were saying he was avoiding Devin Haney, but recently he tried to make a fight with Devin Haney right before he got that fight with Jermaine Ortiz. He tried to make a fight with Subaru Matias. He tried to make a fight with Jose Ramirez. He tried to make a rematch with George Kambosos. Teofimo Lopez doesn't duck anybody whatsoever. When Teofimo Lopez calls somebody out, he actually fights them. Teofimo Lopez, unlike a lot of y'all favorite fighters, is not having trilogies on Twitter. When he called out Lomachenko told Teofimo Lopez, go get a belt. He got a belt. He fought Lomachenko. Teofimo Lopez been calling out Terrence Bud Crawford. And despite me, as a fan and supporter of Teofimo Lopez, I don't like that fight for Teo. I've never supported that fight, the idea of him fighting Terrence Bud Crawford. But just the fact that he's trying to get this fight with Brian Norman Jr. shows me that Teofimo Lopez is willing to take the necessary steps to eventually and possibly land the fight with Terrence Bud Crawford, assuming Teofimo Lopez beats Brian Norman Jr. and assuming Terrence Crawford decides to go back down to 147 pounds after his upcoming fight at 154. Actions speak louder than words, and Teofimo Lopez, his actions has shown that he's willing to fight anybody as long as it's a worthy adversary. And with that being said, this is crazy because Brian Norman Jr. is a dangerous fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. He's undefeated. He's 26-0, 20 knockouts. He's a strong, athletic, slick black fighter with an aggressive counterpunching slash boxer puncher slash pressure fighter type of style. He's very, very versatile. He has very good fundamentals. He's trained by his father, Brian Norman Sr., who was also a champion in his day. So this is a tough fight for Teofimo Lopez. I'm listening to other people in different channels and different panels, and they're talking about Brian Norman Jr. is going to stop Teofimo Lopez. Well, I like hearing that because these are the type of fights that Teofimo Lopez performs to the best of his ability. He had two not too great performances, right? And now he's due. He's due for a shocker. He's due for a vintage Teofimo Lopez takeover type of performance. Brian Norman Jr. is a dangerous fighter that doesn't even have a superstar quality name. That goes to show you how bold Teofimo Lopez is for taking this fight. It's not like he's fighting a dangerous fighter that has a big name. It's not like it's high risk, high reward. No, this is high risk and low reward. And when I say low reward, I say that because this is not a pay-per-view fight. This is not a fight where Teo's going to get paid millions and millions of dollars, right? But the reward is respect. The reward is honor. The reward is legacy, because these are the types of wins that you got to have in your career. It can't just be against guys that are named fighters. You got to fight those dangerous fighters that nobody else wants to fight, right? You know I got to go with my history bag. Oscar De La Hoya eventually moved up to 147 pounds, right? After he started at 130, he gradually became a champion weight class by weight class. And when he entered 147 pounds, the boxing world knew that the big money fight there would be Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Tito Trinidad. Oscar De La Hoya took on a dangerous WBA champion by the name of Ike Bazooka Corte, who was highly avoided, who if he would have been fighting today, he would have been ducked like the Black Plague. Oscar De La Hoya took on Ike Corte knowing that it was a very high chance that he would lose that fight and possibly lose the possibility of fighting Felix Trinidad. But Oscar De La Hoya still fought Ike Corte. That's the type of stuff Teofimo Lopez is doing right now by moving up to 147 pounds and challenging Brian Norman Jr. I don't know how this fight is going to turn out, but my prediction is Teofimo Lopez is going to show out and perform and once again silence the boxing world. I can't wait for this fight. And if it were up to me, I would like Teofimo Lopez to use this just as a quick belt grab at 147 just to be a 3-division champion and then go back down to 140 pounds. Because the truth is, there aren't that many big fights at 147 pounds for Teofimo Lopez. Besides Jerron Boots Ennis, who still hasn't fought on pay-per-view yet neither, but he sold out Philadelphia. And this is also a good thing for Jerron Boots Ennis as well, because maybe Jerron Boots Ennis might not have to go and chase Terrence Crawford up to 154 pounds. Maybe he can do what Marvin Hagler did. And once again, I'm going to go back in my historian bag. He might just very well stay at 147 pounds and wait for the smaller, bigger names, more accomplished fighters such as Teofimo Lopez, such as Ryan Garcia, such as eventually Devin Haney, to move up to 147 and challenge Boots. Because that's what Marvin Hagler did. He was at 160 his whole career. He took on some tough competition up there, but those guys that he beat were not superstars in terms of name, right? He waited until smaller guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, and Tommy Hearns moved up to challenge him. Well, that's the position that Jerron Ennis is in right now. And it starts with Teofimo Lopez moving up to challenge Brian Norman Jr. With that being said, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, Low Nose Boxing, because Low Nose Boxing, I'm out.